questions.
Coach, it seemed like you guys did a decent job there in the first half of doubling Tolu Smith, making life tough for him. I guess how big was it for Mississippi State to have Shaq Moore and some other guys who knock down three-pointers and maybe keep you honest on three-point line a bit more?
Yeah, I think one is terrific. The highest usage rate of any forward in this league, leading scorer, leading rebounder, leader in blocks, third in assists, and hasn't shot a three. That's a very rare combination. They're dependent upon what he does, but just as dependent on his touches. And to hold them to 14% from three, if you would have told me that before the game, I would have been fine with that. To allow them to shoot 40% of their shots from three and make 14%, I for sure would have been fine with that. They just cause so much pressure, put so much pressure on the rim that you have to make a decision. And a lot of that is because of one.
You guys went up 44-35 when Gordon hit that three, and then I think one field goal in the last 14 minutes.
Yeah.
They do anything defensively or changing up or just a
I think he was mixing up their zone a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what the numbers would be in that stretch. I think the only field goal we scored after Dre hit the three was on the air ball putback, which was Henry's only offensive rebound. I think in that stretch we only scored free throws until that very end. I think their defense is third in the country, and they're second in the SEC in creating turnovers. I think that's what a big portion of what hurt us was our turnover rate was too high. And now a team who is so dominant defensively is playing in a broken floor offensively. And the thing that hurt us was many of those turnovers were live ball. And a byproduct is we don't have a chance to offensive rebound, and we don't have a chance to get fouled, much less make the shot. And so there's a compound impact to playing with such a high turnover rate. But that is part of what they're good at. Number one at defending the rim. Number three in our league, two in our league at creating turnovers. I think that's why they're nationally ranked so high defensively. I think that's who Coach is, regardless of where he's been employed.
Coach, was there any kind of scouting report on number 30, Sean Jones Jr., coming into this one? And
Yeah.
if so, kind of what was the talk around him?
Yeah, we've known him for a long time. I think Coach signed him once Coach got the job in the spring. He's from down the road from College Station, great family, great kid, has a bright future. And I think as the season has went on, you can tell maybe Coach feels as though he's improving, maybe he's more comfortable in what they're doing. I thought he had great energy today, and for sure is someone that I think as his career unfolds here will be a really good player in this league.
I'm sure you've seen Cam Matthews, number 4 for State. His athleticism throughout the time you've been here.
He's first team All SEC athlete. That's what that was our scouting report on him. I know a lot of these guys were here with Coach Holland, and I know number 1 is fantastic. He's a first team All League player. I don't think number 4 will be voted a first team All League player, but if there was, maybe you guys should create the first team All SEC, look like an athlete, built like an athlete, plays like an athlete, multiple sport looking athlete. He's I'm not a fan, but like when I watch him play, he just plays with such a great motor. And I think those guys, I think 4 is really comfortable in who he is. I don't think he tries to do something he's not supposed to do, but I don't think he does anything that he knows he can't do. And so his effectiveness, he's just answering the bell over and over on both ends of the floor. And 1 is deserving of all the praise. 3 is deserving. 10 is deserving. But I think number 4 is, I don't know if glue would be the right thing because that seems to kind of limit the impact he has on the game. But like the numbers that we study, the offensive leverage when 4 is on the floor, and the defensive leverage when number 4 is on the floor are very, very good.
And you had mentioned, the reputation that, Coach Jans has, for the defensive mindset, but what have you thought of, kind of how he's gotten his team to buy in, got the fans here to buy in, with it just being his first season at State?
Yeah, he's, like if you study his whole career, like the little town he's from in Iowa, what he did at the JUCO in Iowa, what he did at Chipola, the rise at Wichita State, both tenures he was there, the job that he did at Bowling Green, the job that he did at New Mexico State. Obviously, I've known Coach Cohen for a long time, since I was an assistant at Northwestern State, and he was the baseball coach. Coach is a ball coach, and regardless of where he's been employed, he's had a lot of hard jobs, and he's always been ultra successful. I think, let's see if I can get the numbers right. I think this is his 7th Division I season as a head coach, and he's won 75% of his games. And so that means that he was the head coach in junior college for 7 seasons, and he won 75% of his games. No matter where he's employed, whether they have a bunch of scholarships, don't have scholarships, you've heard of the school, it has a hyphen in the school. Which league was it in? Which league is it going to go in? Is there NIL? Is there not? In between the lines, he figures out how to give his team the best chance to win. I don't know necessarily what he's doing relative to the community to get them to support at the rate that they are, but I would say I think Starkville is a college town, and I think most college towns appreciate the entertainment when it's done in a very fundamental blue-collar way. And I think that as the season has progressed, I think they're 6-3 prior to our game today over the last 9 games. And you can see the evolution of the priority of how he wants to play and what he thinks gives them their best chance.
I thought Anderson Garcia gave you some really quality minutes up until the point where he fouled out. How did you think he responded to what was a particularly hostile environment towards him?
Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised that they booed him. That's not to be critical of the fans. He's a beautiful human being. Like in the 7 months that I've been around him, I've become just a huge fan of his spirit. I love the way that he competes in a very egoless way. He is for the team, and I thought he played really well. His foul rate was obviously way too high. We would have played him more if he wouldn't have fouled out.
Everything for you guys?
Thank you, guys.